Member from Goodhue, Representative Altendorf. Stearns, nope, Goodhue. Had it right the first time.
That's right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members. I sit on that elections committee with Representative Torkelson and want to thank him for bringing this up. I think this is an important issue that all of us here in the state of Minnesota, we want to be making sure we're getting this right. We want to make sure we are legislating correctly. And right now, what was ironic on this bill, it's a big bill. It's a complex bill, HF3. This was not one that should easily just be going through without being vetted out, right? We want to make sure we are making it best, for Minnesota, that we are not making mistakes. But the irony really lies in HF3 that we were having discussion on our First Amendment rights, if this would be constitutional to law, the right to free speech. And when we're discussing questions about free speech, we are cut off. The Republicans were cut off from discussing this bill. So we asked to lay this over. We asked to be able to have our questions answered. We understand we were up against a hard stop. But there is some irony there that we're having a discussion on free speech and we were cut off. There's a saying, haste makes waste. Haste also makes mistakes. And what we are seeing over and over is right now, as we are on the floor and we are introducing bills, we are at 1,582 bills that have been introduced on this floor. We are in the 6th week of session, and even though I am a new legislator, I am told that we are moving at the rate of about 3 times the rate of what this body would normally operate. Haste makes waste. Haste makes mistakes. We have a duty to the citizens of Minnesota to do this right. And I need to ask, are we doing this right when we're doing things that are skipping steps that are not the normal legislative process? There are serious questions in this bill. Is this constitutionally correct? I know when I asked that in the elections committee that I was answered yes, that this followed, the state is following language that has been seen before. But what was not brought up in that discussion is when these bills have gone before the federal and the Supreme Court, the First Amendment rights have been protected, and that the Supreme Court in Buckley versus Valero ruled this to be unconstitutional. These are serious questions, members, and this is not something that should be thought of lightly. This should not be pushed through, and we need to vet this out more.